What is cracking, everybody? Today I have a follow-up to my last unboxing, link to that in the description. This of course is the Master Grade Gyaradoga. Featured in the animated movie Char's Counterattack and the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn series on Netflix. Before anything, I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend for supplying me this kit on Valentine's Day. Thank you, girlfriend. This has long been my favorite grunt suit. This was released back in 2013 and very much holds up to today's standards. What you're looking at here is a kit snap built, no paint or decals, and it doesn't come with the LED like I showed a little earlier, but I'll show you how to install that later. Off the bat you can tell this has a great design, a good amount of surface detail, and it's even got more detail in its inner frame. With good articulation and a lot of accessories to boot, this is one hell of a kit. But even without all of that, it's built like a tank both in appearance and in structure. And on top of that, it's a pretty sizable kit. We're gonna start off with a few size comparisons. It is considerably taller and bulkier than a Zaku 2. Slightly taller than an RX-78. I know this is a Shinmusha, but it's about the same height. Now next to the Sinanju, it is considerably smaller, but not completely outstaged by it. The Reborn 100 Yak-Doga has a similar price, but this Gyaradoga right here, though it is a smaller kit, is definitely much better. And lastly, we have the Sazabi, which is another beast in and of itself. Though there is a significant size difference, they look great displayed next to each other. Now let's go over what this kit comes with. I have to mention this kit is valued at around $50, and it comes with the most important thing. Yes, quality. Apart from the mobile suit itself, this kit comes with 3 sheets of decals. You get a sheet of dry transfers. Here we have the Neo Zeon logos as well as numbers for you to choose from, a sheet of stickers for the warning labels and the mono eye, and lastly a small sheet of reflective stickers for the guns. Like with all other kits, you get a seated pilot figure, as well as the standing one, which kinda looks like the Doom guy. You get 2 rifles, this one has a carry handle on its stock and an underbarrel attachment, adjustable side grip, and its magazine is attached to the side. You get a spare magazine which could be stored on the side skirt. The second rifle is like a FAMAS, but the magazine loads on top of the rifle and the carry handle is by the front half of the gun. Its magazine is also detachable and you get a spare which you can also store on the side skirt. You can choose either one of these rifles to display, or even both like I did here. You get 2 handles for the beam axe and saber, one long one for the axe and one short one for the saber. Now I'm not one for beam effects, but this kit comes with some really good ones. The beam saber is jagged and is as long as the kit is tall and just looks really menacing. And the beam saber handle can be stored on the back skirt. The beam axe handle is longer and comes with 2 different beam effects to choose from. One is a more traditional axe shape and the other one is pointed, but you can't stow this anywhere. I really like these beam effects, they're so much better than your standard beam saber blades. And unlike most other kits, displaying this with its melee weapons just works. The last of its armaments that you get is the shield with 4 Sturmfausts. They're kinda just there, you can't detach them, but the hands can't hold them. Not gonna lie, this is one of the cooler looking shields out there. And you can bend it here on this hinge for a more dynamic pose. You have two head options with this kit. You can have it displayed with the commander fin like this, or the regular grunt head, whichever you prefer. Now the hands are pretty interesting. You get a whole bunch of options, mainly a selection of open and fixed hands. For the open hands, you can't really do much with them apart from open palm posing, poses with extended fingers, or rifle support. But other than that, you can't really do anything with them because they don't have a peg that supports any weapon or whatnot. These are individually ball joint articulated digits that have a single bend in the middle, while the thumb is straight on a ball joint that doesn't get a lot of movement. For the fixed hands, you get different options you can interchange. You get a closed fist. You get an extended trigger finger for holding the guns. The guns fit into these two horizontal pegs and are pretty secure. You also get a closed grip option for your beam weapons, and they too are pretty secure on the vertical peg on it. Moving on to articulation, the head has a slight turn, but if you extend the neck upwards, you'll be able to rotate the head 360 degrees and tilt it front or back. There is a slight ab crunch that doesn't hold. You get a full 360 turn on the torso. The side crunch doesn't hold either, but it will be apparent here and there when you're posing because it does have some balancing issues because the shield is pretty heavy. You'll see a noticeable tilt because of this, but it's not too bad. And yes, the cockpit does open on the front to expose the pilot. The right shoulder shield rotates and is on a ball joint. And shoulder armor pieces are also on different joints that are separate from the shoulders themselves to allow better arm posing. You get a full rotation on the shoulder, full arm rotation and extension. Elbow can almost be fully flexed, hindered only by its size. Front and side skirt extend good as they don't hinder the leg movement, but the back skirt doesn't extend as far. You get a full side kick, leg rotation and front kick. But the back kick is slightly limited. You also get a full double jointed knee bend. You also have this front ankle armor on a hinge. Foot rotation is barely there, but it does extend just fine. Now, to install the LED, again this kit does not come with one, but they're available here and there. Installation is simple. All you need to do is remove the backpack, carefully remove the back armor plate, then remove the head and collar assembly down here like this. Turn your lid light on and then insert it in this port right here. The lid light has these little indents that fit into these bumps in there, and that helps keep it secure. You then put everything back together and there you have it. As much as I wanted to keep this video a little more concise, there is so much to talk about this kit, but that's pretty much the meat and potatoes. For what I haven't fully covered, I will mention in the final verdict. I would give this kit a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a really great kit. You get good detail on both surface and inner frame. You get a good amount of accessories. You get good posing and articulation. And it's a solid kit, can stand on its own and not really any loose parts to mention. It looks awesome and it's a really great value kit. For the cons, it does have some balancing issues but nothing deal breaking. Tubes can get loose. Some people remedy this by gluing it, and I find that really pushing them in place does work as long as you don't really mess with it too much. All in all, I would say at a value of $50, this kit is very much worth your money. It makes for a great addition to anyone's collection, and it gives you several options for display, and if you're just getting into master grades, this one could offer you a great building experience. It does offer a little bit more of a challenge compared to other simpler kits, but it's a great option for anyone who's not quite up yet for a master grade Sinanju or a Sazami Verka. It's not a perfect kit, and it does have its flaws, but these are really nothing to worry too much about. Anyways, this video took longer than I expected it to be, but I really hope it has been helpful to you. If it has, please like the video and feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications and stay tuned for more content. And as always, I hope you have a great one and I will see you next time.